Yo, what's going on, folks? It's your boy, Atypical Security Guard. I'm doing the morning commute in the car, driving to work right now. Dark YouTuber car type shit. So listen, the other day when I was going to work, I think that was Saturday. Today's Monday, right? Like my days mixed up. I think that was Saturday. I had a really good message that I wanted to share with you guys. But as I was driving down the highway, there was a really bad car wreck. So I had to get off and kind of navigate that. But we're going to try and redo it and try and get my point across here. I'm going to go right to the point. Professionalism is something that has to be developed, guys. It doesn't happen by accident. Now, I say this because I had two instances where this was like so evident, and it was kind of an amazing situation. But it reminded me of a story, about 25 years ago when I was a young 18-year-old airman in the Air Force. And I was stationed in a small town in Missouri. And at the time, the lady who would soon be my wife, and one day my ex-wife, I was dating her. She was a college student, and there was a kind of a small college town that was located really close to the airbase, right? So we would go to this restaurant. I think it was called Maurice's for some reason. It was like an Italian restaurant. This is back before the Olive Garden for some of you younger people. And we had this one particular waitress. Now, looking back, I don't know if this lady was a member of the family or like if she had some sort of stock in the restaurant or what the situation was, but she wasn't that much older than my girlfriend at the time, or me. She's probably in her mid-20s. And I'll never forget, me and my girlfriend used to always make fun of this waitress. And the reason why we made fun of her is because she took her job so fucking seriously. Like, you would come in and she would come over and she would greet you. The way that she was carrying herself, the way that she was talking to you, the way that she would take your order, the way that she would bring your food out, it was like she was working at a 4-star restaurant, right? 5-star restaurant, whatever the highest star is. And as young adults, my girlfriend and I, we used to laugh at this shit. Like, we used to go home after the meal and we would make jokes about how serious she was taking her job. We're like, look, it ain't that deep, right? And we would laugh all the way home about how, ate up this chick was, she thought she was Gordon Ramsay, whatever it was, just being young and being dumb. And as I look back, I mean, shit, man, we're talking almost 30 years ago, guys. 30 years ago, I'm talking about this chick, right? Over the years, it has revealed itself to me that that's what you want. Like, we talk about the service industry, whether it's like restaurants or anything, especially today, right? The service industry is just absolute trash. Nobody wants to do their job. Nobody wants to serve people. There's no level of professionalism or decorum. And then look, when you talk about the security industry, professionalism, what? There's a lack of professionalism in law enforcement. There's a lack of professionalism in government leadership. Hell, there's a lack of professionalism all the way up to the President of the United States. Accountability, professionalism, decorum, doing the right thing, taking care of people, all of that stuff, a complete relic of the past, right? But as I've gotten older, and definitely when I started to open and try and run my own businesses, man, how much I appreciated this young lady. She took it serious. Now, I like to think that she went on to do great things. And I'm sure that whatever turn her life took, that she was somewhat successful, because you don't just fall into professionalism. I think a lot of times, specifically in the security industry, people don't take this job serious. You hear that? That's prevalent right now on YouTube with a lot of content creators. Don't dress a certain way. Don't carry certain items. Don't carry yourself a certain way. It's like, don't take this job too seriously. But if you don't take the job seriously, why should the person that you're dealing with take the job seriously? If you don't believe in yourself to be a professional, why should the dirtbag, the Karen, the guy robbing the liquor store, the lady trying to stab you with the long-ass knife like last week, why should they take you seriously? Right? If you don't take your job with enough seriousness to put on a bulletproof vest or a stab-proof vest or to carry the items that you need, why should the criminal? And you guys do realize that regardless of what level of security you're working in, you're dealing with criminals. Otherwise, you wouldn't be there. These businesses, these companies, these corporations, they're not going to hire security simply to hire security. They would much rather keep that revenue. So if you're there and they're cutting a check, there's a reason why you're there. That's a whole different rant. For my birthday, every year since I've lived here in Portland, I go to this restaurant that's called Fogo de Chao. Now, Fogo de Chao is a Brazilian steakhouse. And if you guys know the Brazilian steakhouse method, right? Like you go and they give you either a flag or this little thing that you turn upside down. And as long as it's on green, they just keep bringing the meat out, right? They bring out the meat on skewers and they like slice it off. What's with this goddamn, there's always construction on like the main road. You guys ever notice that? Always construction at the one place where you got to turn off. But anyway, the Brazilian steakhouse. So this past year, my birthday's in June, and I go to Fogo de Chao. Now, I'm eating my meal, and the food's phenomenal, and there's this older guy, probably in his late 70s, early 80s, and he's what they call a wine steward. So he's like pushing this cart, and it's got whiskey, it's got tequila, it's got scotch, it's got all kinds of drinks, right? And he's going by each individual table, and he's talking to people. And so I'm like, you know what? It's my birthday, your boy's gonna do a little whiskey. You know, let me go ahead and spend a little money and make it do what it do, right? The guy comes over, and he was a fucking stud when it came to liquor. Like, I'm just expecting that, I'm like, this is probably some old guy they've got working here. Like, you know, he's probably been working here for a while. Like, you know, what else can he do? He's feeble or whatever. No, this guy was like a maestro when it came to liquor. Like, I'm like, listen, I want to do some whiskey. He goes, sir, is it your birthday? And I said, yeah, it's my birthday. He goes, let me show you something. He goes, you know, this is called this, and this is called Canadian port wine. It's you know, infused grapes. I mean, he's just talking about like the notes and the hints, and he's giving me samples, and he's pouring it like over his arm, and he's wiping off the glass. I mean, it's just like, it's completely this level of professionalism that's like a throwback. The meal was phenomenal. I go there every single year for the meal, but the service that this wine steward delivered to my table on my birthday, it blew my mind. It blew my mind. His level of professionalism was off the charts. And that reminded me of a story that I heard when I was a kid about a master. I'm going to share this story with you guys. And I hope that as you go through your day today, you guys take this story and you let it lead you to doing your job today at a much higher level. Being a professional in any aspect of your life, being a true professional, it carries over to everything that you do. You're not going to become a cop and be an awesome cop if you can't be an awesome fucking security guard first. You're not going to be an awesome business owner if you can't be a great employee. You're not going to be a great father if you can't be a good fucking son. That's just reality. But when you're professional, when you're a professional, when you're good at what you do, when you're, dare I say, a fucking master at what you do, it translates and it transfers. And that's the story I'm going to share with you guys today. Some of you might have heard this story, and if you have, please in the comments tell me your version of it. But here it goes, okay? Ancient China. There is a samurai of high stature that is walking through a market. And amongst all these people that see him, they know who he is. He's got the robe, he's got the adornments, and most importantly, he has the sacred sword. And as he walks through the crowd of people in this market, everybody, they step to the side. People bow. They know who this guy is. They know what he's about. They know what he represents, and there's reverence. Also in the market, it's just a guy. He's not paying attention. He's not watching where he's going. And he happens to bump into this samurai. And as he bumps into the samurai, he knocks the samurai sword off of his waist. And the samurai says, "You have greatly disrespected me. And tomorrow, you are going to meet me on that hill over there, and I'm going to kill you." Now the guy's like, "Listen, I'm not a samurai. Like, I don't do any sort of martial arts." Like, he's begging, he's pleading with this guy, "Please spare me." And the samurai is like, "No, this is what you get for not paying attention and for knocking off my sword. I'll see you tomorrow." The guy's terrified. He talks to everybody that he knows to try and get someone to speak on his behalf. Nobody will step up. Ultimately, he finds a guy that says, "Listen, there's a Ronin." Now, a Ronin is a samurai that no longer has a master. There's a Ronin. This guy, he lives over here. You get enough money together, maybe he'll help you. He gets all the money he can. He goes and he finds this Ronin. He says, "Listen, I've got to fight this samurai tomorrow, and surely he's going to kill me. Can you teach me something? Is there something that you can teach me that can help me in this situation?" So the guy's like, "Yeah, I'll work with you." They go out, they start training, and the guy can't pick it up. He can't hold a sword. He can't fucking do footwork to save his life. And the Ronin is like, "Listen," he's like, "Dude, here's what I need you to do. I need you to accept your fate tomorrow. You're going to die. It is what it is. There's nothing I can do to help you." He goes, "By the way, I never asked you, what do you do for work?" And the man says, "I make tea. Matter of fact, I'm the greatest tea maker in all of China." And this kind of piques the Ronin's interest. He says, "Huh, would you say that you're a master at making tea?" And he goes, "I am the master of making tea." And the Ronin says, "Then make me tea." At this moment, guys, this guy, he transforms in front of the Ronin's eyes. He gets rocks and he washes them off in the river, and he places them a certain way. He gets the fucking wood and the timber, and he breaks it and he sets it in a certain fashion that when he lights the spark, everything immediately it catches fire. He gets water from this certain well, and he puts it into this certain pot, and he puts the pot a certain way, and immediately, the second he sets the fucking pot on the fire, it starts to boil. Like, there's no gap or anything. He sets it down, it starts to boil. He takes all of these different herbs and all of these different like leaves and the tea and everything. He grinds it up a certain way, and when he's doing this, he is so focused and he is so just engulfed in what he is doing. And the Ronin he's in fucking awe. And the guy makes the tea, and he sets the table, and he presents the drink to the Ronin, and there's such a look in his eye. And the Ronin says, "Stop." He goes, "Tomorrow, when you go up on that hill, I want you to grab the sword, and I want you to wait for the samurai to show up. And the second that he walks towards you, I want you to make tea. I want you to make tea with that sword. I want you to make tea. I want you to swing, and I want you to die. Don't think about anything else. Think about making tea. Hold the sword, make tea, and as he walks towards you, I want you to swing and accept your death. The next morning, the samurai's like, let me go take care of this motherfucker that disrespected me. Gets up, gets something to eat. He ain't stressed, you know what I mean? Goes over to the fucking hill. And as he comes around the corner, he sees the fucking tea maker. And the tea maker is still. The tea maker is silent. The tea maker is focused. He's holding the sword. And he's in a zone, guys. Samurai gets a little closer. Tea maker doesn't move. Samurai gets a little closer. Tea maker doesn't move. Samurai draws his sword. Tea maker doesn't move. And the samurai says, I recognize a professional when I see one. I know when I'm in the presence of a master. Your disrespect that you besieged on me yesterday is forgiven. I did not realize who had bumped into me. He puts his sword back into his sheath. He bows. And with great trepidation, keeps his eyes on the tea maker as he backs away. That story has been instrumental in my life, in the fact that it doesn't matter what you are doing. Mastery of your job, professionalism, the ability to be fucking great. Have you heard that? The ability to be great in any aspect of your life, it carries over. And in order for you to be great at something major, you must first be great over something that is minor. Even as minor as making tea. Let me check your comments out here, guys. Dude, where's your face? I'm doing the dark shit. I told you guys that. I've been noticing that too with construction. So is this audio only? Guys, when we do the morning commute, I'm driving. So you're not going to get to see my big, beautiful face. Okay? It's dark. That's how it works. All right. So anyway, I'm praying for you guys. I hope that you have a great day today. I hope that you are sympathetic and empathetic to the people that you have to deal with. I hope that you are able to keep yourself from being triggered and placed into a situation where you react poorly. I hope that you are safe. And as always, God forbid, if you are placed in that situation where you have to defend yourself, I hope that you are extremely quick and extremely accurate. You guys mean the world to me. You keep me going and you keep me motivated. And I'll catch you guys later on, okay? Y'all have a great day. You be safe. Be great.